my heart away. Went a bit too far, so wrong. Oh no, open up my soul, but babe, how could I know you're cold? Shame on you, should have seen what you were like, dangerously nice. You got me all lost, so blinded. You got me all lost, listen to my heart. I gotta be lost, survived it. Now you're all gone, 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 my friend. Oh Lord, I guess you fooled me once, but I ain't falling twice. All lies. Oh Lord, I ain't gonna run. My rise has just begun. I'll shine. Shame on you. Should have seen what you were like, dangerously nice. You got me all lost, so blind. You got me all lost, listen to my heart. I gotta be lost, survived it. Hey guys, so I got my camera nigger rigged so it doesn't shake as much. I hope it works. So I watched a walking and talking video today. And I was trying to see the difference between my walk and talk and the YouTubers walk and talk. So that was kind of interesting. And I'm going to grab a seat right here. And get myself together. I'm trying to think which way I want to walk. So I'm probably going to go to Woodley. I'm going to walk to the Woodley entrance and then go back around to Lassen. Good morning. So that's going to be that. All right. So let's get walking, I guess. That was the our maintenance guy, and he goes in between buildings 4 and 5, and they clean up, you know, whatever they do. So I wanted to tell you guys about the day I had Brittany. It was actually kind of weird to me because I had never had a baby before. So the whole pregnancy was more of a you know, I was kind of ashamed of myself because my mother used to always she would always talk about pregnancy like it was a bad word. So basically, I kept it a secret. Now, mind you, I'm married, okay? But I kept it a secret, and well, I tried to keep it a secret as long as I could because naturally I lived with my husband and my mother lived by herself. So she didn't get to see me that often. But eventually, I started getting bigger. So I could no longer hide it. Which is like super interesting because you try to figure out, like, why would somebody try to hide a pregnancy? It's impossible. You're carrying another human being. So the day before Brittany was born, I kept having to use the bathroom, which, is natural for a pregnant woman. But this is kind of weird because I kept having to go. And I remember not being able to sleep. I felt kind of, I don't know, just kind of weird. I can't describe it. But interestingly enough, I had bought Brittany's father an easy chair, a lazy boy, and I remember sitting in that chair all night long and most of the morning at about, I don't know, I guess about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Pierre, that's Brittany's father, he woke up and he's like, why are you still awake? How can you come to bed? And I'm like, well, I'm not really sleepy. And I keep having to use the bathroom. I can't sleep because I have to keep getting up. And so, sure enough, he ended up calling the doctor who told him that, hey, she might be in labor, so, keep watching her, get your watch out and all this other stuff. And so I said to Pierre, I'm like, no, you didn't tell him everything that you should have told him because, my water didn't break. So I thought, well, my understanding was, being a new mom and everything, was that there was going to be this big gush of water, like on TV. And somebody says, oh, my water broke, and naturally, everybody rushes her to the hospital because it's time. So that's interesting. Anyway, so that's what I was waiting for to get confirmation that it was time to have the baby. Good morning. So, sorry, I'm going uphill right now. So it turns out that me having to use the bathroom so frequently that particular night was because I was in labor. And I didn't know, he didn't know, but Dr. Peart, he said, to start timing. Dr. Peart was my doctor. He's like, well, make sure that you start timing it And he told Pierre to make sure I didn't keep going to the bathroom, because he was under the impression that I might deliver the baby in the toilet. So, naturally, I was like, okay, no more bathroom. So, and it was not, sorry, it was not, when I was having to go to the bathroom, it was not, nothing was coming out. I had the sensation that I had to use the bathroom, but the thing of it is, nothing would come out when I go to the bathroom. And so that's why Dr. Peart was like, stop going to the bathroom. That's not what it is. So I stopped going to the bathroom, and I was having mild cramps, not even as bad as menstrual cramps. They were just mild, and that's why I didn't think I was in labor, because these were not bad cramps at all. I remember watching television shows, and even where I was at Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital, and there was a lady a couple of rooms over who was just, she was so dramatic. She was screaming, she was doing all of this screaming like she was dying. It was horrific. Anyway, because I was a first-time mom, they didn't want me to get all scared and shit. So they ended up changing my room so that I wouldn't have to hear that woman, in the other room. And so I remember also at the time, they were having a gang summit. The Crips and the Bloods were supposed to be coming together to stop the gang violence. And that was interesting, because they were having the summit just as I was in labor. I remember my mother was there with me. My mother was there with me at the hospital in the labor room, and while Dr. Peart was examining me to see, how many centimeters I had dilated or whatever, he was looking back at the TV, girl. The TV was on in my room, and so he was checking me for the diameters, and he was watching TV. And my mother said, "Excuse me, are you gonna examine her, or are you gonna watch TV? Because you can't do both." That's my mother. Yeah, and she did some other things too. I remember, they hook you up to all these monitors and things while you're waiting to dilate so that you can have the baby. And so my mother, she was in the room with me, because when Pierre brought me to the hospital, he went and picked up my mother. Now, she had a car, but my mother didn't like to drive. She wanted to be chauffeured around. So he went and picked her up and brought her over to the hospital. And so I'm still, I'm laying up. I'm having cramps and all this other good stuff. Pierre, he went somewhere. I don't know where he went, but he left my mother there with me. And so it was funny because when Pierre got back, you know, he came over and he kissed me and how you feeling, whatever. I hadn't had the baby yet. And I immediately said to him, why do you smell like onions? And so we laughed about it later. But it turns out that at our Lamaze class, the Lamaze instructor, she told the men or the husbands, if you get hungry, don't tell your wife that you're going to get something to eat because she's not able to eat. And so that would be not unfair, but you don't want to get her upset knowing that she can't eat, and then you went and got a double cheeseburger from In-N-Out or Carl's Jr. I think it was Carl's Jr. that was across the street. So, he went across the street to Carl's Jr. and got himself a cheeseburger. And then he wanted to come back and kiss me on the forehead, like, how are you doing? Knowing that he reeked of cheeseburger. Anyway, so he was busted. But while he was gone, my mother, she was checking out the monitor. Now, she had asked the nurse, when they were putting everything on me and getting me all hooked up. Because, mind you, my mother, she wasn't at the birth of my two nephews, my sister's kids. So, this is really the first time that she's been at the hospital with her daughter to deliver her granddaughter. So it was a magical moment for her too, being able to look at all the machines. And so the lady had told her what the machine did, and my mother decided to predict the future for me while she was sitting there waiting for her granddaughter to be born. So she would say things like, oh, you finna have a contraction. Oh, it's a big one too. And then almost immediately after she said it, or while she was still trying to get it all out of her mouth, I would feel the pain. And it wasn't excruciating pain, but I knew something was getting ready to happen. That for sure. And so, finally it was time. So, they're wheeling me around. I didn't scream or holler or nothing like that. It was just uncomfortable. I don't remember pain. I just remember pressure. A lot of pressure. Pressure on my stomach. Pressure in my hips. It's like my body was going through something to prepare me to give birth. It was an amazing experience, really. To know that without my help, my body was doing everything necessary to be done in order for me to give birth to Brittany. So, it's really interesting that I had gained a lot of weight too, guys. I gained about 60 pounds when I was pregnant with Brittany. And, I was thinking, like, after I have the baby, all the weight will come off, which was not necessarily the case. It didn't come off right away, but I did nurse Brittany, so that helped with the weight loss. Again, with this amazing body of mine, produced milk, and oddly enough, would let me know when it was time for Brittany to eat. I remember one time I was in the drugstore. I had to go in and I don't know, whatever I had to get. But I went in. Sierra stayed in the car with Brittany. And it didn't occur to me that maybe she might be hungry. I was just gonna run in and run out. So I go in the store, I come out, I get in the car, and Pierre's like, "What's wrong with your shirt?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he pointed to my shirt, and I looked at it, and I had these two big wet stains right where my breasts are, and they were just wet, nice circles of wetness. And it turned out I was leaking milk because when I got in the car, Brittany was crying. And that's the story of me having a baby for the first time. All right, guys, that is it for today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.